No!
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Nope.
This episode sucks! I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how this episode can be redeemed. Newbie Dash is just absolute disgrace. I never thought that there will be an episode that will make me so cringy to the point of hating it. Well, I was proven wrong. And it started so well. Rainbow acts so noble while facing fangirling Skulu and admits she won't have much to do as a Wonderbolt reserve during their show. Then enters Iron Mare Spitfire announcing that Dash is now a Wonderbolt. Yay! The preparation went even better with the support of her friends, and later comes the nice continuity callback to testing 1 2 3. And then this nice picture was shattered by the return of Rainbow's childhood trauma. The embarrassing nickname Crash. Okay, the Wonderbolts had their point of their rule number 1, but did they really need to tease her like that? Even Sorin, who was considered the nicest of them all. He lost a bit of his likability in Rarity Investigates, and for me, he lost most of it because of that one moment here. From this point, it's pretty much downhill, with a small up when Dash admits that she had a hard day because of that awful nickname. That's a plus for me, that she was honest. Too bad that she took her friend's advices the wrong way. Some people liked the scene when Dash was emulating the rest of the main 6. Me, however, I just couldn't stand it to the point I actually turned off the volume. It's good as one-note joke, but not as the big part of the act. Not to mention, Spitfire's attempt to motivate Rainbow was also not very helpful. And there is the last act, which also is making me cringy. Rainbow learned her routine perfectly, and yet she was still trying to impress the rest of the team and obviously failed in the process. Then came the talk with the Wonderbolts, and I'm not accepting this too, how they ended up. I just can't. This moral and its execution is just bad, saying that if you have an excuse or reason it somehow, it's okay to bully someone. I might be okay with this if they went with this something like Rainbow Dash and Spitfire talking in private and then Dash explained how much hurtful her nickname is because of its backstory. Then Spitfire might show some support to her and then help Rainbow to realize that all Wonderbolts have their nicknames. Maybe then I would be okay with it. But with this one, I am not. As I was saying earlier, the whole main 6 emulator Dash is also something I don't like, and the last try to impress the Wonderbolts. But on the other hand, that's how Rainbow Dash usually acts. But as for the Wonderbolts, I just don't know how could you redeem them now. Throughout the whole series they've been shown as incompetent group and bad role models. And here they probably reached the high point by constantly teasing Dash and didn't even bother to notice that it might be not so funny for Rainbow herself, and it maybe even hurt her, because I'm sure that when others were rookies and received their embarrassing nicknames, it wasn't as hard for them as it was for Dash. Though I have to admit, there are positive points of this episode. It's great that Rainbow Dash finally fulfilled her dream of being a Wonderbolt. I like all the continuity callback to testing 1 2 3 and the fact that Dash was more useful and helpful during one season than the Wonderbolts throughout the whole series. I like the fact that this time she admitted to her mistakes and was ready for every punishment. That poster-like frame at the very end was awesome too. What also was good was the fact that Dash also realized that solo she is talented, but now she's a part of the team and must think this way. And after this episode, I actually have a sympathy to Rainbow Dash, something I was lacking before. Sadly, those things are just not enough to overshadow the terrible rest. Some might actually like this episode. And that's okay, it's a personal opinion. But some might also like the episodes like Princess Spike, Mysterious Mare-Duel, Spike at Your Service, or Rainbow Falls, which in general are considered one of the worst episodes of the series. And I personally would throw Newbie Dash among them. Some might also say something like, but that's how military works, and that is also a fair point. If not one problem. You might have a problem with finding someone in target audience who actually know that this is how the military works. Oh, and fun fact, we are not the target audience. At the end of the day, this is still a kids show, and giving them a message it's okay to bully someone as long as you have an excuse for it might not be the best moral. That's also the reason why I think this is one of the worst episodes of the series. Some might also say Wonderballs are not supposed to go easy on Dash. And that's the fair point too, even though they kinda went easy by holding the spot exclusively for her. But you know what? Wonderballs are also supposed to be a team and support each other. That also means they should notice the fact that something is troubling their teammate and give her any kind of support. Here they are oblivious to the fact that Dash is having a hard time, assuming that's just because of her first day in the team. And again, I bet no other rookie before her had that hard time like she does, because I bet no other rookie before her was dealing with returning childhood trauma right from the beginning. If only execution was better. If only some pony in Wonderbolts, maybe Spitfire or maybe Sorin, actually noticed that something is really bothering Dash. If only Dash explained to Spitfire how much she hated that nickname, how much traumatic was it for her when she was a filly in flight camp. A small change, but maybe then I would actually might defend this episode. Or maybe even that might not be a bad episode. The only way the future episode might be worse than this one is if there will be absolutely no positives. But for now, this one here is the worst episode of the season and one of the worst of the series. I'm Sharpwit, and you shall not mention this episode in this domain. Ever. Thanks for watching.